Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brian here. Another movie review today. So, last night was Halloween. Hope everyone had fun on Halloween. Yeah. Hope you guys got a lot of candy or went out and partied or just had a good day, whatever. Yeah, so last night, me and a couple of my friends, we went and saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I'm gonna review the movie today. Once again, before we get into this, spoiler alerts ahead. If you want to go see this movie in the theaters, you want to watch it on Peacock, whatever, or schedule one of them sketchy websites, and you don't want no spoilers, spoiler alert is ahead. So if you don't want spoilers, exit out of this video. But if you want to know what the movie is like, or you've seen the movie, you want to know my opinion on it, continue watching. Alright, everybody, let's get right into this. So, the movie starts out with a security guard, and he's like running from something, and then this animatronic ends up killing him. Then it pans to later, then it plays this like little intro of like the Five Nights at Freddy's characters, and then it goes to this guy. He's with his sister, or he wakes her up, go to work. He goes to work in the mall. He's a security guard in the mall. Well, he gets fired because he attacks a guy, assaults a guy in the wishing well, not the wishing well, the wishing pond. He assaults him. He gets fired. He ends up going to a job hiring agency like Elwood Staffing or something like that, like a agency. Matthew Leonard's character is there, great actor by the way. Age. His character's there. He initially is telling about this job. He's being a hard ass, giving him a hard time. At the end, he goes, "I have a job," but then he tells him he can't work nights. So that initially sucks for him. So then he ends up, his aunt's trying to take custody of his little sister. He wants to keep her, so he does end up taking the job, working nights. It's at this old arcade from the 80s. It was big, much like a Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, let's face it, whether you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan or not, it is definitely inspired, or a little bit of a copy of Chuck E. Cheese. It has animatronics, it's got all these games. It's like an old arcade. Not just Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, there were other arcades, too. There was Cheesy Charlie's. That wasn't really a big one. That was one that was, I think it was in Ohio. There was 4 or 5 of them or something like that. There was Cheesy Charlie's. There's a bunch of independently owned ones, so it's not just Chuck E. Cheese, but yeah, a Chuck E. Cheese style, like, arcade, like pizza and food and stuff, and then prizes to win, all these animatronics, and then you have the games, of course. But yeah, back into it. He goes in it. He works it. It gets creepy there. He falls asleep. He's dreaming about his little brother. He had a little brother who got kidnapped. Has the same dream every night. He dreamed this before when he was laying in bed. He goes back the next night. Same thing. Dreams. There's a cop there. A cop shows up. Beautiful actress. She shows up. She's there. They're talking about the place, how it was loved. He ends up keep having the dream about his sister. He tells the cop about his brother. I mean, he tells the cop about his problems that he's having about his missing brother. Tells her the story, and while the babysitter is meeting with the babysitter, I guess her brother or boyfriend, they are meeting with the aunt and her lawyer, and they're trying to sabotage him. They say, oh, if we cost him his job, they'll be able to get custody in court. So the babysitter was hired to get information and to see him abusing her. He didn't, because he's not. He's a good brother, or a good father figure, I guess you'd say, in the life. And he initially they're initially talking about how they can destroy the place. So they say go in and destroy the place and then burn it down. That's what they do. They go and destroy the place. Well, they all end up getting killed by animatronics. The girl and the babysitter, or the animatronics come to life and end up killing them. Cupcake is pretty cool. They end up killing them. And then initially the cop shows up to his house, says it was broken into, tells him to stop taking pills. It said that he can use each other, it's not going to say anything. He ends up having to take his sister there because, of course, the babysitter was murdered, so she wasn't able to babysit. So he takes his sister with him. She ends up sneaking out in the night when he falls asleep, and, well, the animatronics are alive. I was shocked at this part that they were, like, all friendly and everything to her. Yeah. And then throughout the movie, it keeps showing pictures of this rabbit, this giant rabbit, that he believes took his brother. He's trying to get his sister to ask the animatronics, because the animatronics are the children that were killed, that are haunted. He tries to get his sister to ask them. She does. Well, they end up not kidnapping his sister, getting the sister to come with him because they want the sister's soul. Well, the rabbit ends up showing up, and they're all convinced the rabbit's their leader. Well, what happens? They end up getting convinced about the, what do you call it? About the sister ends up changing it to tell them the truth. The rabbit was the one that hurt them and kidnapped them and stuff. And then all the animatronics gang up on the rabbit, and it's Matthew Leonard. He was in a costume, but then he's got, like, this thing turns him into an animatronic. Well, he ends up getting jumped by all the animatronics, and thrown in the back room. They escape. At the end of the movie, the girl asks, "Can we go see Freddy again?" And he said no. Oh, well, he said you never know what would happen. The end of the movie happens. It shows him in the back room, the rabbit all hurt. And then it shows the taxi driver, which I forgot to mention this, but he got into a taxi driver, scared the crap out of him. Shows the taxi driver, and then there's the gnome things in the car and scares him. And that's basically a recap of the movie. I was not... so, I'll give you guys my opinion on this. Before I say this, I went into this movie thinking I was really going to like it, because as everyone knows, I'm not a gamer. I've played video games very few times in my life. I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. But I went in, I saw the Mario movie, and I didn't think I was going to like that movie. I ended up liking it. Everyone said it was 10 out of 10. I didn't think it was a 10 out of 10. I thought it was probably a 9.5 out of 10. No, it was actually a 10 out of 10 movie. Great movie. So I was going in with that expectation. I knew this one was going to be a little cheesy, but I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was boring. You know, I can see why gamers and Five Nights at Freddy's fans would respect it, because they understand it more. But I really honestly thought it was just boring to me. I thought from like the horror PG-13 aspect of it, it was just not a good movie. From the horror fan of me, it was not a good movie. In my eyes, it was kind of boring, so I hope the sequel they make a little bit more entertaining. But I mean, it was an okay movie. Not terrible. I would say it's one of them movies, if you still have cable, it's like one of them movies that you don't particularly put it on to watch it, but like if you're scrolling through the channels and it's on, you're gonna watch it. Like it's one of the movies that you'll watch if it's on, but like you're not gonna particularly put it on. That's what I would say. This I'm actually gonna rewatch. It's on Peacock too. I'm gonna rewatch the movie on Peacock and maybe play some of the games and then sort of give a more perspective on it. But from the first time watching, I give it a 5.5 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10. It wasn't terrible, like I said, but it wasn't great. It was not the worst horror movie, but it was certainly far from the best. It was not as good. It wasn't as good gaming movies as like Ready Player One or Ready Player One or the Mario movie or the original Mario movie. Nothing along those sorts. But yeah, I would say around those 5 out of 10, 5.5 out of 10. Like I said, I'm gonna rewatch it a couple more times and play the video game, and then give another modest opinion. But first time reaction, it's a 5.5 out of 10. Alright, everyone, that's it for today. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. Bye, everybody.